After a tense situation, many experience a wave of calmness and observe that their heart rate is decelerating after they begin to unwind. Today, we're exploring your body's Zen master, the parasympathetic nervous system. Join me as we decode the fascinating mechanisms behind these reactions. To set this foundation, let's familiarize ourselves with the autonomic nervous system. Think of the autonomic nervous system as your body's control center. It's constantly modulating essential functions such as your heart rate, digestion, and salivation without your conscious input. This autopilot, the autonomic nervous system, is partitioned into two main parts, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Think of them as two sides to the same coin, frequently performing contrasting yet mutually beneficial roles. With that being said, they're not without their unique quirks. For instance, certain functions like the fight or flight responses are managed solely by the sympathetic nervous system. But today, our spotlight shines on the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's relaxation guru. When you're safe and relaxed, it takes over, initiating what's called the rest and digest response. Let's imagine a scenario. You've just survived a hair-raising encounter, maybe narrowly missing a falling object or something similar. Afterwards, almost instantly, your heart rate starts decreasing. Your digestion picks up pace and your pupils constrict back to normal. Your parasympathetic nervous system is busy bringing you back to a state of calm. It's often labeled as being anabolic because it dominates during periods of rest and recovery. But how does the parasympathetic nervous system do all of this? This system comprises a network of nerves that originate from two distinct areas of the central nervous system. These are the brainstem, specifically the cranial nerves, and the lower part of the spinal cord, specifically the sacral nerves. The combination of these two groups of nerves is often referred to as the craniosacral division. The cranial nerves involved are the parasympathetic function of the oculomotor nerve, which is the third cranial nerve, the facial nerve, which is the seventh cranial nerve, and the glossopharyngeal, known as the ninth cranial nerve, and the vagus or 10th cranial nerve. The sacral component arises from the second, third, and fourth sacral spinal cord levels. The vagus nerve, cranial nerve number 10, is of particular interest as it provides parasympathetic innervation to a vast majority of the body's organs, including the heart, lungs, and most of the digestive tract. The vagus nerve is exceptional due to its sheer reach and influence. Astonishingly, it is responsible for providing about 75% of all parasympathetic output. The parasympathetic nerves follow a general pattern of having a long preganglionic neuron and a short postganglionic neuron. The cell bodies of the preganglionic neurons are located in the brainstem or spinal cord, and their axons extend a great distance to a ganglion located near or in the target organ. There they synapse with postganglionic neurons, which then innervate the target organ. The chemical messengers, or neurotransmitters in this case, are predominantly acetylcholine. Both preganglionic and postganglionic neurons release acetylcholine. The acetylcholine released by the preganglionic neuron binds to nicotinic receptors on the postganglionic neuron. Then, the acetylcholine released by the postganglionic neuron binds to muscarinic receptors on the target organ, initiating a series of changes in the cell that result in the parasympathetic effects we typically associate with this system. The activation of the parasympathetic nervous system can lead to various physiologic responses, including slowing the heart rate, known as bradycardia, constricting the bronchi in the lungs, stimulating production of saliva, facilitating digestion by increasing peristalsis and secretions, and contracting the bladder to allow urination. Moreover, the parasympathetic nervous system plays a crucial role in sexual arousal in both sexes. It facilitates increased blood flow to the genitalia, necessary for sexual intercourse. It's worth mentioning that the parasympathetic nervous system works in delicate balance with the sympathetic nervous system to regulate body functions. While the sympathetic nervous system prepares the body for vigorous activity, the parasympathetic nervous system helps the body recover, rest, and digest. This is where the world of pharmacology enters our conversation. Drugs known as parasympathomimetics can mimic the actions of acetylcholine, binding to muscarinic receptors and initiating a rest and digest response. For instance, pilocarpine, a medication often used in the treatment of glaucoma, works this way. It causes the pupils to constrict. Conversely, anticholinergics inhibit the actions of the parasympathetic nervous system. A common example would be atropine, which blocks acetylcholine and thus can increase heart rate and dilate pupils. A clear understanding of these nerve pathways and neurotransmitter actions can help predict the effects of activating or inhibiting the parasympathetic nervous system, and provides foundational knowledge for understanding the actions of many drugs. Contrastingly, the sympathetic nervous system, your body's rapid response unit, is mainly concerned with the fight or flight response, activating during situations that require immediate action. Once you're out of immediate danger and your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in, it takes over and returns your body to its normal relaxed state. To fully understand how different drugs operate, one must have a thorough understanding of the parasympathetic nervous system. Anticholinergic medications, for instance, reduce the activity of smooth muscles and glands by inhibiting parasympathetic nervous system's effects, making them effective in treating conditions like asthma, incontinence, and bradycardia. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of the parasympathetic nervous system. Until next time, stay curious and informed.